What's up, fam? You're locked into Mic'd Up with Samson Fam, where real talk meets real hustle. And we here today with a special guest, my girl, Jazzy B. This week on Mic'd Up with Samson Fam, we chop it up with the vibrant and unapologetic Jazzy B, radio personality, red carpet queen, and a woman who's been through the storm when it comes to love. Jazzy keeps it all the way real as she opens up about heartbreaks, lessons from toxic relationships, and how healing helped recognize what a good man really looks like. She's finally in a space where love feels safe. And sis got stories. So let's get into it. How you doing, Jazzy?
That was amazing, Clark. Now you caught me off guard with that intro. That was beautifully said.
Well, you're a beautiful woman, and I had to come out the pocket. You know what I'm saying? I had to pull out all stops.
You did that. I am, and everything was so true. You ran me to the T.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about me now. You understand? I want to hear more. How are you feeling? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. You know, we had conversations,
yes,
and
yes.
From our conversation, I was like, yeah, I really got to get her on. You know what I'm saying? So that the world can hear what you talking about.
Yeah, because it's real, you know, and I don't know if you want me to just dive into it, but let's talk
we're gonna dive.
it.
Well, first, before we dive into it,
yes,
let's talk about who Jazzy B is. What do you do? Tell everybody
so
what you do.
I am a red carpet correspondent, very much so TV personality. I travel all over covering the most major events that a person can get invited to, everything from the BET Awards, the Soul Train Awards, the Grammys, the BET Hip Hop Awards, even smaller events such as I get invited to Nelly's birthday party every year,
okay.
Lotto's birthday party every year. I just got invited to Akbar's baby shower. So I get invited to all the who's events, and I never cover scandal or gossip, just the good news.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just the real good news that's going on.
Yeah.
You know, you can go on anybody's social media if you want some bad stuff, but if you want some good news, you come to Jazzy B for real.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and then of course outside of that, I have some companies. I have Jazz It Up, which is a interior design. I don't renovate, but I will change your entire life. So I'm really good with having a vision. So I can come somewhere like here, for instance, I could come in here and completely jazz it up in a way where absolutely
I might need you to do that.
Yeah, let's go. And basically my goal is to always create more space and more opportunity for you to create more revenue.
Sounds good.
So absolutely. So I do a lot of things, and now I'm a soon to be fiance, soon to be wife, soon to be I'm gonna have this baby. You know, we'll get to that. Okay, for sure.
So we talked on relationships.
Yes.
And you know, what was some of your relationship? Let's start with the relationship woes. What was some of your relationship woes?
So some of my relationship woes were.
No, hold on. Before we even get into the woes, I mean, you being a very attractive female.
Mm-hmm.
I know you get approached a lot.
I do.
So how do you deal with that first? Let's talk about that. How do you deal with, you know, guys approaching you that you don't want the approach from? How do you deal with that as far as let the young ladies know to deal with that and not be harassed, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you know, the threats and all that.
So that's actually funny you said that. So I'm actually very humbled by, you know, people wanting to talk to me. And nowadays it's guys and girls. And so they, you know, I'm always humble. So I'm not a person where if somebody try to talk to me, I'm like, out my face, scat. You know, I don't disrespect people because I understand what rejection feels like, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not a man, nor have I ever been a man, but I can totally understand what it have to feel like to get the nerve or the guts to approach somebody that you're interested in, whether you have good intent or bad intent. To approach somebody is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And so what I normally do, and I feel like a lot of females do this now, where if you're uninterested, you're going to give your social media, and you're not going to give your number. It's like, oh.
Well, that's a safe way approach, though, to, you know, not give your number, give your social media.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a safe way. Yeah. It's a very safe way. So I'll normally give my social media first, and then a lot of times I feel like you can almost tell a lot by a person's social media, and sometimes you can tell a little too much from a person's social media, because you know social media is the world of fantasy for a lot of people. Not a lot of people are showing their real life. But then on the flip side, I can say that I've always been a very nice person, but I can honestly say, as a person who as a child got molested extremely early on, that plays another part into people approaching me. So I feel like I'm still learning every day the balance between being nice but also being protective over myself. Now it's not an issue because I got a man, and I love to tell somebody I got a man, you know, so it's not even an issue now. But at first, prior to being with him, I definitely would just simply, you know, make a joke, even if the guy is unattractive.
A lot of guys don't care that you got a man, though. They'll still... No,
a lot of guys don't, but I do feel like it's a difference when you got a real man that you really are feeling in a certain way that you've never felt. Your walk gives off she can't be played with. And so I don't even get a lot of people people actually approach me, females approach me when I'm with him, not a lot of guys. Guys will stare from afar, but guys really don't approach me no more. But one, I dress a lot different than what I did when I was single. And I feel like a lot of times you got a lot of women who feels, especially these days, oh, this is how you met me, so I can still dress how I want to dress. And it's like, but you his now. You get what I'm saying? You're his now. So you might want to, you know, it's nothing wrong with being. You can still be sexy.
The way you dress is respects that man.
Thank you. Because my biggest thing is this. I don't ever want to put my man in a position where he got to fight. You get what I'm saying? Because somebody want to come and grab my... Can I cuss?
Yeah.
I can't. Just little baby curse words?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just if somebody want to come and grab my ass, it's like, if I got my ass out, he got it now. You get what I'm saying? So I just don't want to put him in no crazy position. I don't want to be in no crazy position these days.
And then vice versa. He shouldn't put you in no crazy positions. You know, I have two daughters, and my concern is them dating guys that will put them in, you know what I'm saying, uncomfortable situations.
And it can happen.
Yeah, it definitely can happen. I've seen it happen with certain people. So
guys can be disrespectful sometimes. I've been out, me and my girlfriends, and a guy's with their girl, and they looking at us so hard, where it's just like, it's embarrassing to the girl, to be honest with you.
I worked doing club security since I was 15 years old. I mean, I don't do it now, but since I was 15 years old doing club security, and then doing club security, I've seen dudes being so like a dude would be walking through there with his girl, and another dude standing on the side would grab her hand or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got to run over there real quick and interject before it breaks out. Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you this real quick. So I just had an incident. I went to go get my feet done, and I have some pretty good feet, right? I got really good feet. No, you won't have a fear of mine. I'm telling you, mine look like they came from God. Like God really did this thing. And I'm saying this because, you know, like no toe is bigger than the other. It goes down like steps, right? You know, no nothing. But with that being said, comes issues, right?
Okay.
So I'm getting my feet done. This is just last week. I'm getting my feet done at a place that I normally never go to. I went when I was younger, but not in my adult life, right? So I go and get my feet done, and the guy is giving me a pedicure. And I started noticing that he's doing an awful lot with my feet. Asian guy. Yeah, that's what they are, right? Okay, so Asian guy, he's doing my feet. And all of a sudden, in all my years of getting my feet done, I never had a guy stand up and start really just going in. So he's going in on my feet, and I started noticing that he's putting my foot on his private area. And so I'm thinking I'm tripping, right? I'm like, I'm completely out of my mind. There's no way this is happening right now. And then I started actually feeling it, like growing, absolutely. And so it now once again now comes in. Who wouldn't be flattered that you're attractive and that any race will want you? But the other part of it, that feeling of being molested as a child, is in my mind, where, you know, you think that, all right, this happened to me, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but you really go back into that trauma age that you were when it first happened. So a lot of times when I get felt on inappropriately, instead of me being the grown 30-something-year-old that I am, I go back into being the 7-year-old in so many words. And so I'm in like this state of shock to the point where he started massaging my thighs, grabs my private area.
Really?
The boldness of this guy, actually Trump me. He Donald Trump me. He literally Donald Trump me, and I couldn't believe it. And so I'm like now getting out the chair, putting my shoes on, and he grabs my butt.
Really? Oh, come on! You ain't start fighting in there?
And that's the part that I realized, like, I have to figure out what's going on. Like, deep down, like why when these situations happen, why is my reaction the way that it is? Right now, in the past, I was married before. I wouldn't tell him when I would be touched inappropriately on the red carpet. You know, you might be taking a picture with somebody and they, you know, start going down. The stuff that you said you seen in the club, you done seen it all. But I always would kind of internalize it, and I wouldn't actually speak on it until maybe weeks later. Now I'm telling whoever I'm with what happened, and they're pissed. They're like, "Why didn't you tell me?" So for the first time in my life, I tell my man, I text him, I'm like, "Can you come to the nail shop?" Now keep in mind the nail shop is right outside of his neighborhood. This man comes in there.
Hold on.
Yes.
Man, we're going to take a break real quick.
Let's take a break. Let me take a sip.
Let's take a pause for the cause, pay some bills. We'll be right back. You're watching Mic'd Up with Samson Fam. What's up, Richmond? It's your boy Marquise, and we out here at Celebrity Motors VA. That's right, Celebrity Motors VA, where you can get a great quality car at a low price. That's right, you heard it. Great quality car for the lowest price anywhere. Unless you shopping in your grandma's backyard, come to Celebrity Motors VA. When you got all I got money, that's right, you want to come to Celebrity Motors VA. We got you. Right here, Belt Boulevard, right down the street from Southside Plaza. You know where we at, with the Volkswagen on the pole when you're coming down that ramp from Midlothian. Come check us out. Celebrity Motors VA, 2 East Belt Boulevard. See you there.
I made you a celebrity overnight.
Behind the Lens with Officer William Burnett. William Burnett, an agent of change. William Burnett is a 29-year law enforcement professional who actively engages the community through the Friends of William Burnett for Change. William Burnett normally can be found in the community making a difference, but today he's behind the lens. 29 years he has called Richmond home. William is personable, responsible, and relatable. Sitting and talking with William, it was evident that the community is at the center of his heart. Thank you, Officer William Burnett, for your service to the RVA community.
And we're back with Mic'd Up with Samson Fam, and we're here with Jazzy B. Continue this crazy story, and this is why you women really need to stay out of these Asian shops. And you know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things, I mean, everybody hate Trump, but one of the things Trump is trying to do is get us to support us. You know what I'm saying? And we need to realize that and recognize, man, because, you know, well, let me let you finish the story, because this story is crazy. So you text your boyfriend.
Yeah, I text him, and I'm just like, "Can you come up here?" And crazy enough, this is the crazy part. I really battled for at least a good minute on, and you know, in a situation like that, a minute is a long time, right? So for a minute on, if I was even going to tell him, because once again, you get into these scenarios where you want to protect your man just as much as y'all men want to protect us. Whereas, like, I want this to be handled, but I don't want him to go to jail either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want you to come up here, but I don't know what I want you to do when you get up here. You get what I'm saying? So he's a very chill guy. He's a very nice guy, like, for real. So, you know, he's not one of them guys that's with the, you know, no, but it can get there. Clearly, I see it can get there. So he pulls up, and I mean, I'm talking about not even 3 minutes past before when I text him. And so the guy ended up going outside to smoke a cigarette, like, immediately after. So everything is happening slow but fast at the same time. And now I'm trying to tell the lady, like, "Hey, your guy, John, was touching me inappropriately," which, you know damn well his name was not John. That just hit me. But anyway, but his name was John, right? And so I'm like, "He just touched me inappropriately, da 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 da." Before I could even get the words out, he was in there. Who was it? It was him. It was him right there. Like, and he's like on 10,000. Like, it's two ways we're gonna handle this. Either I'm gonna beat you know what, or we're gonna call the police. Like, one of the two is gonna happen, but we're not leaving out of here until one of these things is handled. And so, needless to say, not to go too much into a tangent, as a woman, I've done. You can look at my Instagram. I've done the whole dress sexy thing. You know, I've done the whole, you know, some would call it thirst trapping or whatever. I've done it all, and I realized that it's better to protect yourself than to be sexy.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, right? Now,
because if you're sexy, you're gonna look sexy regardless.
You're gonna look sexy, and I had on exercising clothes for the record. I didn't even have on anything, revealing or anything like that. But it just made me remember as a teenager growing up how I wanted to be sexy so bad, and I wanted like all of us a lot of the times. You want people to want you until people want you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm telling you? You want people to want you. So going back to your initial question of advice, what would I give to women is dress how you want to be addressed. 2, don't allow anybody to disrespect your space.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And if you do have a man, a real man, allow him to be a real man. And I'm glad that I had an opportunity to learn from my past.
That statement, allow him to be I always had a problem with that statement. To me, I'm saying, ain't nobody gonna allow me to be no man. I'm gonna be a man regardless. You ain't allowing me to be no man.
But if you think about it in this way, because I get that perspective. However, but if you look at it from a different perspective, from a woman's side, we have to let down our guard. Just like men. Like, say for instance, you might be a very self-sufficient man where you can cook your own food, clean, you can do all of those things, but you gotta allow your woman an opportunity to take care of you and bask in her femininity as well. You get what I'm saying? She gonna be a woman regardless, but you can step back for a second and allow her to really step into her role.
I allow her to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, see, allow. You see what I'm saying? Allow.
I want to do all that. Yeah.
So I just allow him. He's a man regardless, and he's a heaven of a man. Not a hell of a man, but a heaven of a man. But I do feel like I had to allow myself. So see how I changed that? I didn't allow him. I allowed myself to step back and give him the space to handle it, and it made me feel amazing. It did. It made me feel amazing.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, well, how did it all end?
It ended with them actually not charging me for nothing, which is a big deal in the Asian community, because one thing, you can have a seizure in their chair and they're going to make sure they still want their money. And
they'll come out to the ambulance. You awesome.
You understand? So you know what I'm talking about. So they didn't charge me anything. The lady asked me, come to find out that was the lady's husband, and that he had actually just got another girl fired, a black girl, who he had touched inappropriately. So this is something that had been going on. Also, she said that her son, a few days ago had just told her, like, watch him. Her son told him to watch. And so, needless to say, I actually feel like we end up helping the situation, because any other black man would have came in and it wouldn't have been no stopping him. You get what I'm saying? But I felt like he came and he did exactly what I needed. I didn't need him to go in there and beat that poor man up. You get what I'm saying? I didn't need him to go there and shoot him. I just needed him just to show up for me, if that makes sense. And so he did exactly what I needed in that moment. And I felt like I ended up doing exactly what apparently God sent me there to do for this lady, because she needed the confirmation that your man is a dog and he's a predator.
A pervert,
Exactly. So it actually all worked out. Worked out.
What is dating in the spotlight like?
Dating in the spotlight is
like not as far as the guy you with now.
Yeah, just in general. Prior to him, I was dating. No, I was a serial dater prior to him. Okay. And we joke and stuff about it now, because he's like, man, my baby was out here. You know what I'm saying? But I was. I'm not ashamed of the fact that I was a real life dater, because I got married when I was 18 and I was married for 14 years. We separated at that 11th year mark, but I was still a married woman. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, getting married at that young age, and even though I experienced a lot of trauma in that relationship, when you get married, a lot of times in your mind, you still think that some kind of way it's going to work out, or at least that's what we're programmed to believe, that you want it to work out even when it don't serve you any good. And so I wasn't looking for a relationship. You get what I'm saying? So dating the spotlight is different, because a lot of people want to know what it's like to experience Jazzy B. Not Jasmine. You get what I'm saying? They want to know what it's like to experience Jazzy B.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's very difficult, because how do you want to say it? Like, when you're who you are, you don't look at yourself sometimes the way other people do.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was almost my downfall in dating.
Okay.
Because I didn't put myself, which I didn't put myself on a pedestal. I didn't make myself seem like, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You gotta, like a lot of girls now, it's like, you can't take me to the Cheesecake Factory. You got to take me to this place. I'm a down-to-earth girl.
And that's better.
Yeah, I'm a very down-to-earth girl. However, I also believe that I went too down-to-earth where I went below my standards.
Okay.
Because I didn't truly have standards, if I'm being completely transparent with you. I didn't have standards. I felt like I entertained people where I never should have even been in their presence. I entertained people in a way where... they won. Let's just be honest. Yeah. They won. You know what I'm saying? And so it's difficult. It can be difficult. I stayed away from dating a lot of celebrities because I'm not a money hungry person. I'm not a person that feel like because you can take care of me, you get to do whatever you want. And also I like the innocence of going to red carpets and being able to get myself through these doors without anybody saying that I slept with anybody to get there, that somebody, I had to flirt my way. I got there because of my talent and my personality and my perseverance.
That's what's up.
So yeah, it's
I find it funny when I watch like Love and Hip Hop and those shows, and all of these women, beautiful. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're like the most beautiful women.
Absolutely.
All single, can't keep a man.
Cannot.
But 600-pound life, everybody married.
Everybody married. And they going to heat that food up right now as we speak.
You know what I'm saying? They sitting there taking her out back and washing her down with a water hose and everything, man. Everybody married. But them beautiful women can't keep a man.
Can I tell you something? I'm guilty of saying that. I'm actually guilty of being around very big, beautiful women that I couldn't understand how, at the time I was married, how can I not keep my husband in this house? But she is keeping this man. Yeah. What is the trick, sis?
What is the trick?
What is the trick? And so that's why it goes back to what you said earlier. Beauty doesn't mean exactly what you may think that it means. It really doesn't. Beauty do not keep no man at home.
Women.
You gotta have more than that.
We're gonna take a break, but when we come back from break, we're gonna talk about what it takes to keep a man. Women.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we gonna bark on that. So we're going to take a break. We're going to pause, pay some bills. Y'all watching Mic'd Up with Samson Fam. Don't go nowhere. Pepsi Max. There's no substitution for great taste. And we're back. Mic'd Up with Samson Fam. We're here with Jazzy B. I was gonna get on what women don't know what men want, but before we get there, we're gonna get there though. Before we get there, I want to talk about red flags.
Yes.
The red flags that you've seen in dating that you ignored, and the ones that you wish you didn't ignore.
I ignored a lot. So I'll talk about one incident in particular. So one guy I dated, I didn't really like him as much as he liked me.
Okay.
And the thing is, he was an attractive guy.
That happens a lot in relationships.
Yeah, it really do. It really do. He was an attractive guy, but I just was not truly attracted to him. Does that make sense? How somebody can be attractive, but you're not. Yeah, we didn't share a level of chemistry. However, overall, I never talked to him for his physical aspect.
Yeah.
However, he was one of them guys. He was a little bit older, or whatever. Well, he was about maybe 9 to 10 years older than me. However, he just wanted to take me out and all of these different things. So we used to have a good time together. However,
I used to have that problem a lot where they was attracted to me, but I wasn't really attracted. All the time. I mean, they be running me down all the time.
Of course, and so they definitely same. And it's hard because, like, you might like me initially because of my energy and because of how I look physically, but then it's like once you get to know me, it's like you're gonna love me because I'm so cool. Like, I'm just a cool person. I'm a jokester. We talked about that. I'm a jokester and all this stuff, but because I didn't really like him that much as he liked me, he was going home every night living with his baby mama, and I didn't even know. Okay, he was talking to me all the time. We seen each other every single day. It was to the point where he would be on the phone with me. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm about to drop my son off to my baby mama." They was living together. They was living together.
So he just taking her in the other room.
You know what I'm saying? And so that was the incident. So I feel like the red flag was I never came to your house.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You just was pulling up on me, but because once again I didn't like him the way he liked me, the red flags I ignored them. Another situation. Oh my gosh, like it's so many red flags that I've ignored. But once again, I ignored a lot of the red flags because I truly knew that I was not interested in being in a relationship with anybody.
Yeah,
so so that's what made me such a good dater, because I didn't
you mentioned
care.
that before. You was a good dater.
Oh my God, I was a phenomenal dater. Like honestly, I really was, because like one of my best friends used to tell me, like, girl, you act like a guy. Like you really act like a guy. Like you can literally go on dates and got these men fall in love with you, and you really have no emotion for them. And so I just didn't like to be.
Well, I don't know why people feel like that's a guy thing.
Isn't that up?
Because women. That's a woman thing, actually. You know what I'm saying? Men learn that from women. Women date with no emotions because women date for a reason. Like a guy will date because he's attracted to you.
Yeah.
And when he's attracted to you is because, you know, that attraction builds. It's up to the woman to make that build. A woman will date because either she wants some money, she wants something out of him.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So the emotion don't get there until intimacy gets involved. When intimacy gets involved, then emotions start to build. But sex separates friendship and relationship.
Even then for me, I still was not truly emotionally attached to anybody. And we can say all day that they just won't do it right and all these different things, but I just genuinely had no real, like, okay, so I'm a hopeless romantic. So like we was talking about this in the car. So I had talked to this guy who I had no business at all dealing with. So much to the point when people found out that I was talking to him, the few people who did know him, because I didn't know him. They were like, "What are you doing with him?" Like it's no, like guys, girls, nobody could believe that he had possibly even pulled me in any kind of way. But it was how we met. And so the thing is, it's like, I've always been a person where even though I'm not emotionally attached to any of these people I had talked to or dated, it was like if we met a certain way, like we met at a pool hall or something like that, but it was like we met and we hit it off very well that first night. Like I told Delvina, outside of that day, he won't nothing, if that makes sense. But that day, the vibe was right. But after that, it went back to being nothing. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, what could this be?
Yeah.
Could this be him? And it wasn't. You get what I'm saying? And so yeah, I was a really good dater. I regret some things. Well, I don't want to use the word regret. Would I have done some things differently? Absolutely. Like for instance, I would have literally not. I feel like I did good. I got to give myself credit. I feel like I did good, but I also once again feel like my worth and my value now is a lot higher than what I presented it as initially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your growth, self-worth, how real love hit you different. The guy you're dealing with now. How did y'all meet?
We actually met on Black. It's a dating website called Black. And funny enough, I gotta tell this story real quick, okay? So I literally was going through it, and my brother, he's my biggest hype man, right? And he's so ready for me to have love, like prior to me actually getting love.
Okay.
And he just talked to me one day. I'm outside of Lake Jordan, looking at the water. At the time, I was smoking still at that time, and so I rolled up a blunt, and I'm just sitting outside the water. But I had a notebook and a pen with me this day, and I'm talking to Adam, and I'm just like, bro, I don't know, like I'm at a place where I'm watching girls who's 1,000 times bigger than me, girls who really ain't, can I say shit? Who really ain't shit, you get what I'm saying? Be in love, or what seems like love, you get what I'm saying? And why is it that I'm not in love? And Adam like, that's because you don't want to be. And he's like, Jasmine, you are a Lamborghini. And I'm like, tell me more. And he's like, no, you're literally a Lamborghini. He was like, you got to think about it. At one point, everybody wanted a Lamborghini, right? Lamborghini was a lot of guys' dream car, you know, back in the day, especially or whatever. And so here you are, a Lamborghini, driving around in an area that don't see Lamborghinis that often. And he's like, but the difference between your Lamborghini is that it look like you got a for sale sign on your Lamborghini. So people are who normally would never. He said you ain't never seen Lamborghini have a commercial because they don't need a commercial. He was like people will come in there knowing that they can't even qualify for that car, but because your Lamborghini is on sale, you got people walking in just to test drive. Let me tell you something. He put that thing in perspective for me in a way that I could understand it very plain, and I'm like crying. I am a Lamborghini. I
with
do
a
look
flat
like
tire.
What a flat motherfucking tire. Do you understand how crazy it is to know that you a goddamn Lamborghini? And you just out here letting people drive your car? Taking the value down every single time?
Let's talk about, what do you think a good man is?
What I believe a good man is, for one, is a man of God. And I know people say that a lot these days. But when I say a man of God, I mean a man that can lead. Like, when I say lead, I'm a person, I'm a woman.
So, if a man doesn't believe in God, he can't be a good man?
I can't say if he can be a good man or not. He wouldn't be the man for me.
Okay.
Yeah. You believe in what you believe in. You get what I'm saying? As long as you believe. But for me, I need a man that believes in God. And that believes that he is the leader of our household, for one. That he's the head. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm a woman where I'm gonna follow you, but I have not. Now some of the guys that may end up watching this that I ever dated, they like, but I wasn't called to follow you. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so, well, I would say a good
you
leader.
gotta trust that leadership, though.
I trust his leadership. I genuinely trust his leadership. He gets no pullback from me. But but the part that I trust about his leadership is that he understands the role that I play. So it's like, if that makes sense. So basically what I'm saying is that
we're not talking about him. We're just talking about what you think a good man is in general.
So, and I guess it's hard because, to be honest with you, everything I thought a good man was, I didn't know because I didn't experience a good man until
Okay.
To be honest with you, I experienced men that I thought was a good man.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Women, we date people for potential. Oh, well, he got a good job, or he drive a nice car, he got his own place, he take care of his kids. So we, in our mind, that's it. You a good man. But it's like, how's your decision making? How is it when things aren't going good? Because a lot of times women can ride with men when money ain't right, but men can't ride with men when money ain't right. Okay, so how are you when money do get low? How are you when?
How's your attitude?
How's your attitude?
You get violent.
You get what I'm saying? Do you get depressed?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
or
how
you put it together to make some money.
Okay. How's your ambition? Yeah. Hello? How's that? Because a lot of people.
I see a lot of women date guys that don't have no ambitions, and then
I would never do it again.
Eventually, then they start resenting the man, and now everything is his fault. But that was the man you chose.
Because the thing is that we fall in love with men for their potential, and what I've learned now is that potential is our fantasy. It's our fantasy. It's not the reality. It's our fantasy. We believe that this is what they're going to end up being.
So what's a good woman?
A good woman to me is a woman that first of all carry themselves like a woman, right? Like, you're not carrying yourself like a gold digger. You're not carrying yourself like a prostitute. You're not carrying yourself like you're only a mother when you could be a wife. Like, it's being able to have balance. It's being able to have elegance. It's being able to actually know how to follow and lead when the time is right. It's being responsible. It's being respectful. A woman to me is a lot of things, being supportive, like actually being a person that can acknowledge not just your man but your kids. You can acknowledge your friends doing good. I can sit here in front of you and acknowledge that you're doing your thing. Like, a woman to me is a person that knows how to have grace. You get what I'm saying? A woman is a person where you don't even got to speak, but when you come in, you own the room. It's a energy that you give off, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break real quick.
Okay.
You're watching Mic'd Up with Samson Fan. We come back, we're going to talk more about what's a good man, what's a good woman. Don't go nowhere. And we're back. You're watching Mic'd Up with Samson Fan. We're here with the lovely Jazzy B. So, okay, you told us what you think is a good man, what you think is a good woman. Let me give you my perspective. For a relationships perspective, I'd say a good man to me is a man that's a man for himself.
Yeah.
He has to be a man to himself first before he can be a man to anybody.
Agreed.
He has to know how to be a man as far as taking care of himself and taking care of others around him, facing fears and basically keeping his intelligence over his emotions.
I love it.
That would be the major thing.
I love it. I agree.
But relationship-wise, everybody knows that communication is the key, respect is the foundation, and love and patience create the home. But what people don't understand is how to communicate. We can talk about things. We could talk about how your day was. We could talk about things. But if you have something that happened that you don't want to tell me because you don't want to hear my mouth, then we have bad communication.
You're right.
You shouldn't worry about hearing my mouth. You shouldn't worry about, because you know whatever I'm gonna say is gonna come from a place of love. So you shouldn't care about, that shouldn't be a problem. You should want to hear what I gotta say because it's gonna come from a place. And if you don't, we got bad communication, and the relationship is gonna get torn down. Respect is respecting a person's views and opinions. Everybody feel like respect is because I'm not calling you out your name, you're not calling me out my name. Respect is respecting views and opinions. Like you have mentioned, a person has to believe in God in order to be with you. Respect is respecting views and opinions. I could be a Muslim, you could be a Christian, but I respect your views as a Christian, or I respect your views as a Muslim, or you cannot believe at all. But I respect your views in what you believe or don't believe in. And when you have respect of people's views and opinions, most arguments come from lack of respect. An argument is going to come from me trying to force you to see it my way. But if I'm respecting your views and opinions, I'm not forcing you to see it my way. I'll tell you my opinion, you tell me yours, and then we move on. And love and patience will create that home. And that ultimately is, like I tell people, that's what I bring to the table in a relationship, is the knowledge of what it's going to take to have a great relationship.
Absolutely.
Women will often tell you what a real man is. Oh, he a real man, or he ain't a real man because he this, he ain't a real man because he do that. But they can never tell you what a real woman is. And a real woman in a relationship, or better yet, what a man wants from a woman in a relationship, in a nutshell, is peace. That is all a man wants from a woman. A woman wants a man to have a job, he wants him to have a car, he wants him to have that, this, that, pay the bills, but that. All a man wants from her is for her to keep herself up and give him peace. That's it. That's all we want. So when you look at these shows like 600 Pound Life and all that, and you wonder why these big girls and you know what I'm saying, that they ain't really doing much, and but how they give that man peace.
But like, okay, so I was with you into that part, because it's like, but seriously, like, how is it peaceful to be with somebody that, like, well, alright, you're right. But, and this is the backtrack for a second. When I said about the God situation, I don't know if you heard the part when I said you got to believe in something. For me personally, like, I can't be with somebody who don't believe in nothing. Period. I personally can't.
If you don't believe in anything, I mean, it depends on his aura. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he could just believe in himself. And that's the base. That's the whole basic concept. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the basic God concept.
Yeah.
Is he's in you. You have to believe in yourself. That's why they say faith without works is dead. So if you believe in yourself, you're going to do the work because you believe it. Actually, God put everything we need within us. Everything is in us. We don't have to get on our knees and beg for stuff because he already gave us the tools. If I teach you how to build a house, and I gave you the hammer, nails, and everything, and said, okay, go build a house. And you said, help me. I need help. Why? I just told you how to do it. I gave you all the tools to do it. Why are you begging me for help? That's the same God concept. Why are you begging God for something when he gave you all the tools to do what you need to do? You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to stop going to church. I mean, how much schooling do you need? You got to learn this on your own.
And my thing is, like, you know, a lot of people go talk about religion. Like, I'm not a person where I grew up in church, 7 days a week, right? Grandparents, deaconess, deacon, all of that. So it's not even so much about religion based, you know what I mean, with me.
Because a lot of people feel like, family prays together, stays together. They put that religion on it as if you have this and nothing is going to go wrong. And
Yeah.
that's totally false.
Nah, 100%.
That's totally false. You got pastors that relationships ain't working out.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
totally false.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much you believe. And actually, I've seen relationships where, like, the woman mostly has so much belief that she's neglecting her family.
Yeah.
Because she's putting everything into the church.
Yeah.
And she starts neglecting her family.
Yeah, that would never be me. But I want to touch on what you said because I agree with everything that you said as far as in because see, I didn't break it down like that. I'm really just talking, right? But you broke it down definition wise, right? And I agree. I definitely feel like I'm a person where I bring nothing but peace. I'm not an argumentative type of person. I'm not combative. I'm very much so. I'm gonna praise you. You get what I'm saying? And I noticed that men like that. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they do. They want to hear the
men
good
don't
stuff.
get that,
Oh
yeah.
man, I praise my guy so much. And
because women expect that of us to, like, whatever. Like, if a man goes out there and changes the tire, she expects that. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm
It's
going
that type of attitude. That's what you're supposed to
let you
Can I get a
know
thank you? Like,
how amazing you are. How I can't believe you did this to the tire. Like, you know, because I love to praise good work. Like,
and women want that too. You know what I'm saying?
We
For a
do.
man, yeah, for a
Please
man,
hype me
because
up.
you don't want to feel unappreciated. You know what I'm saying?
You don't.
Nobody
You don't
in a relationship wants to feel unappreciated. Nobody wants to
No.
feel like I'm doing so much. You
No.
don't even appreciate what I do.
Like, as a woman,
Nobody
you want to
wants
feel like the song, the baddest in the room.
Yeah.
And if your man don't make you feel like you're the baddest in the room, like, it's a problem. And then, like, for a man, like, I know I'm constantly letting my man know, you know, because once again, in the beginning you share, I've been through a lot in relationships. Like I said, I was married before. I even said to the point where I would never have nobody else's child. Okay, I said that I never said that I wouldn't get married. I only have one biologically, but I do have one with him now.
Okay.
But I would give him more, like I would, and I'm telling you, first of all, a man couldn't even get. I never even believed in the girlfriend title. Like, can we talk about it for a second? We got a little time.
Yeah, we got time.
I never believed. I thought that the title girlfriend was the weirdest thing ever because in my mind you're single.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you are.
Essentially, you're single until you're married.
Until you're married, yeah.
And so,
but black relationships don't see it that way, especially black women. They don't see it that way.
No.
You mine, that's it.
Yeah, no,
You don't see it that way. But you're single until you're married.
I don't see it that way. Like, I genuinely, like, me and one of my best friends, we used to get into it because I'm like, the girlfriend thing to me is just, it's a made up word. It's like tilapia. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not real. And so the reality of it is, I genuinely, on everything, did not believe in the title girlfriend, which is why I dodged that jet as long as I could, because I'm like, I don't want to be nobody's girlfriend. Like, for me, but no, the debate was, okay, if you're never a girlfriend, how do you get to be a fiance? If you're never a fiance, how do you get to be the wife, right? But in my mind, I took it old school, where back in the day, this even before my time, for real, a guy would call up a girl, or vice versa. I'm like, hey, I want to take you on a date on Saturday. Are you free? Jet will go pull out her little calendar, see, oh, I think I'm free on Saturday. That should be fine. And here's the reality. She might be dating other guys. He might be dating other women. But you might start dating that one person where you like, damn, like, I actually miss them. I want to date with Rosie, but I really want to be with Jade. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now what happens is, you like, dang.
You got to understand,
Shorty got me feeling like I don't even want to see these other girls no more.
Exactly, and that's how the relationship builds. Just understanding the word, a girlfriend. You're a girl and you're my friend.
Yeah.
But we're not, saying exclusive until we're married.
and that's how I always felt about it. So this is the first time I've ever been a girlfriend.
And then you got people get engaged forever.
Yeah, and see, but what I like about the guy I'm with now is that from the beginning he was very intentional, and I think that was one of the things that I kind of desired too, because like you kind of want a person that got intentions, whether you a man or a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want somebody that got some intentions. Like, where are we going?
Yeah.
Where we at? You know what I'm saying?
That's how I was when I met I was we dated for a year and got married.
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead now. That's no. To this black man right here and to my black man at home, because that is important. And I think for a woman, that is an easy way to get us like, oh yeah, what do you want? Do you want me pregnant and barefoot? Because your intentions will get me there.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? And so although I've declined being a girlfriend for many moons now, I said yes to him because I know that I'm not about to just be a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I understand his perspective, going back to respect. Even though I didn't understand it initially, I respected his perspective on it with, you know, if I'm introducing you to somebody and his man, he's like, well, I don't want to just say this my friend. It sounds better to say this my girlfriend. But like I told him, friend, girlfriend, it still ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you use that word to try to throw other people off. Like, okay, this is my girlfriend, so don't talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I think that...
But then you got to be like Beyonce, put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it. And one thing I can say, I've never been the type of woman that have ever told somebody that, you know, you got to put a ring on my finger. Because I feel like men is going to be a man. If you want to marry me, like men know...
If you push that issue, you're going to push it away.
I've never pushed it. And I know my ring is coming for a fact. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And not because I have said it or whatever, like at all, to be honest with you. But I can't wait to have it. I can't wait to have it. But I never pushed it because I want it to be something that he wants. And I'll never forget my ex told me that I forced him basically to actually marry me, and that is the most hurtful thing ever when somebody tell you that you forced them to do some shit that basically you telling me your ass didn't want to do. So it's like I would never ever remotely give off the vibe that I am forcing you to do anything that you don't want to do because it won't work. We both have to want it, we both have to desire it, and we both have to work for it. So, you know, this next ring is going to be my best ring, and I'm very excited about it. I know we got to go, but I really don't want to leave you. Can we please have a part two? I don't want to leave because I didn't have a chance to finish expressing myself. I feel like I'm rushing.
Do you have a closing thought?
My closing thought is for women real quick. Can I just talk to the ladies for a second?
Talk to the ladies.
I just want the ladies to know that don't put in your mind that you don't want to be married. Don't put in your mind that all of these guys just ain't shit. Don't put in your mind that I'm better off just being single because me being single, I can do what I want. I can follow my dreams. I can do this. I'm a hell of a mom anyway. Open yourself up for love because a lot of times the man that is for you is literally right there, but you're closed off. And I just want you to be open-minded. I want you to really be open-minded to, if you don't believe in God, that's fine, but to what's right in front of you that you just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But there's a greater power that do, and we can miss our blessings sometimes manifesting the wrong thing. One of my girlfriends will say like, I just want to be single, but I know that's not what you really want, but you're speaking it. So a lot of times I believe that we are what we eat and we become what we speak, and you got to speak positivity over your life. If it was not, I basically did a Sierra prayer in that car that day that Adam told me I was a Lamborghini. I sat in that car after we got off the phone and he made perfectly good sense, and I'm like, oh my God, let me write out what I want. Write it down, make it plain, right? Write the vision. So I wrote down. I had no clue what I was writing. I'm like, I want this. I even put in there, I want to stop smoking weed. Then by the fifth one, I said, I want to stop smoking weed every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not speak too hard, God. But I don't smoke now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can't believe it, to be honest with you. I asked for a good man. Like, not a man that I fantasize about, but the man that's meant for me, right? I ask God a lot, and that, you know, you're not supposed to tell everything to everybody when you ask God personally, but I'm telling you that God answered my prayers, that my prayers were answered completely, and they're still being answered every single day, and I'm just excited about the future. And once again, if you're listening to this, what Wendy Williams say, if it can happen to me, then it can happen to you. Okay? That's it.
You're watching Mic'd Up with Samson Fam. That was a good piece with the young lady Jazzy B. This is another story, another truth laid bare. Here on Mic'd Up with Samson Fam, we give you the mic to the unheard, the ones who lived it, survived it, came back with the scars to prove it, because every voice matters, especially the ones the world tried to silence. Keep showing love, keep seeking truth, and always remember, real stories don't fade, they echo. I'm Marquise Sampson, and this is Mic'd Up with Samson Fam. Until next time, stay solid, stay tapped in, stay mic'd up. Peace.
Let's go, Samson Fam! I love it here.
Yeah, you can find me right now.